Hello, welcome to La Casa. Take a seat.
And feel like home.
Hello, this is the second episode of
Sobremesa.
And in the last month we did my episode, but today we're gonna do Hannah's episode.
Explain it a bit for the people that didn't listen to it. You should listen to it.
Okay, so basically La Sobremesa is like our monthly segment where we want to bring people to talk a little bit about their experience of leaving their home and like settling into a new country and making their own home and all their experiences and stuff. So last month I talked about my situation. Obviously I think it was a little bit more nuanced because it was Venezuela center, which is a complicated country.
And a topic that is very much talked about at the moment.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like mixed information and mixed opinions. But Hannah is from
Germany.
So she's gonna, I think it's very interesting that we also talk about this experience because it's a different, I mean, when I told Hannah that I wanted like her to also speak about her experience is because I know where I come from. People, when you say you're from Germany, they automatically think, okay, you live in like heaven, you know? Not because they think it's the best country in the world, but because when you compare it to Venezuela, it's obviously like, what are you gonna complain about? What do you have to run away from if everything there is great? Like you have food, you have basic necessities, blah, 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 which obviously those are very important things, but everybody should have those things. That apart from that, it's also like you have other experiences that can make you want to leave, want to start anew, like different things. So
yeah, the first time before I really met people that were from like Latin American countries or like countries that have like, for example, not a good passport.
Yeah,
I met my ex-girlfriend and she had like such problems with visas, with traveling, with where can you stay, whatever. And I just realized when I met her how privileged I am because I never really doubted it.
Yeah.
And I think that's like what you have when you live in Germany because like I have my reasons why I move countries, but I never had the reason that I'm not going to earn, like I earn shittier money here, to be honest. Like the salaries here are way worse than in Germany. By the way, I'm super privileged because I speak German. I have a German boss that lives in Madrid, has a company in Spain. We work in 3 different languages like Spanish, English, and German. Obviously also good because I learned those languages, but I'm privileged. Like I earn a German-ish salary, so yeah. But yeah, for real, like you really don't realize how privileged you are, you know, when you grow up in Germany.
Also, I think this may happen because it happened until I moved, which I think on one hand it might be true, but on the other it's like trauma Olympics maybe, that maybe when you hear stories about other places that are not as good, for example, what I've heard from Frankfurt, and when I was in Germany, I saw it firsthand, like not even remotely the same as in Latam, but I was seeing shady ass stuff happening at 3 o'clock in the middle of Hamburg, you know? I was like,
Frankfurt is the same, yeah.
And from what I heard, I think Frankfurt is even a little bit scarier in the way of the aesthetic maybe. But it's like when you come from like a violent place like Venezuela or something like that, you think that's the only place where that happens. You know, there are other parts of the world where awful people live and stuff, but it's like in Germany, what are you gonna know about people with guns or people like a drug problem or stuff like that? And obviously that exists.
That's so funny because Frankfurt is like one of the main cities for rappers. Please don't hate me, but I think it is like that. We have like loads of rappers that start their rap career because they're like from the outside of Frankfurt or from Frankfurt. Because it's very like a center for a lot of crime and drugs. And I remember they were like recording a video and one of my friends saw them on the street recording the video. And that sounds a little bit like Latin artists. And they were having like fake guns and stuff like that. Because obviously you can't, in Germany, I mean, the police would have come immediately and like arrested them. But they were like, I don't know, doing stuff with fake guns. But people like, they have weapons as in, you can see violence if you look for it. And I know people that had like serious problems in that city and whatever. So And to be honest, we also have like a serious political problem again with Nazi people and stuff like that. And those people are fucking violent as well,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. There's also kind of like a issue here. Well, not kind of. There's an issue here in Spain as well because the neo-Nazi people are fucking going crazy. Whatever. We live in a very complicated world. I mean, I don't think the reason Hannah left Germany was because it wasn't safe. But what I'm trying to say is that even though there are some places that are worse, like you don't really know people experiences until they tell it, or maybe you can also see it in some other ways. So that's why we are here to discuss. So Hannah, when did you leave?
Okay, so I left for the first time 2 years ago. So I graduated in 2024. My master's.
Yeah, but you were born in Frankfurt and you studied there your master's as well. Okay.
No, I was born in Frankfurt, raised in Frankfurt, lived there until I was 18, and then I was like, fuck you. I hate the city. I have like 3 or 4 friends from that period, but almost no one. I really hated my life. Nothing was holding me. I don't know, like I was a very unhappy person at that time. And I was just like applying for unis, and I got into uni in like a little more, like it's like a small town, but loads of students go there because the university is really, really good, Tübingen. It's very beautiful, like in the south. And so I moved there, and then I stayed there for 8 years.
Okay, that's quite a lot.
I stayed there for 8 years because I did my bachelor's there. Then I had a little crisis. A lot of people, I think, after your bachelor's.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh my God, do I do my master's straight away? It was kind of like the beginning of COVID.
Okay.
So I think it was half a year before COVID started. And so I talked to loads of people, and then I found a master's program there. And I started therapy after, and my therapist was like, girl, you never had a home, and you created yourself a home in 4 years. It's normal that you don't want to leave it again after like 4 years, you know what I mean? And so I stayed there for 8 years. And it was crazy because I thought for a long time, one of my best friends told me, she moved to Berlin 5 years ago, something like that. She told me, Hannah, stay here until you're absolutely sure that you don't belong here anymore. And at that time she was telling me that was like 2.5 years before I moved. I was like, I think I'm gonna stay here forever. Because I felt, it's like a small town. I knew almost everyone. Like I had such a big friends group. I love my friends so much. But it was crazy because I was finished with my master's. I started traveling, and the first time I went like solo traveling, I kind of hated it.
Yeah, it's hard though.
Yeah, and I really wanted to like it. And then I was at my parents' place for a little bit. And then I went on solo traveling again. And then I went back for a little while. And when I went back, I was like, whoa, I don't belong here anymore. Like something changed so drastically in me that I was like, I don't know where to go. I don't know where I belong. I don't know what I want to do with my career besides that I really want to write and want to do art and whatever. And so it was like so weird because it was so clear. After being like, this could be my home for like a long time, it was absolutely clear that I couldn't go back.
What things do you think did not make you feel like home?
I think for me, it's very hard. I've been actually like reading a book quite recently. It's from a German author, and she was talking in that book about the experience of finding your home. And I think for me, finding your home is something that I was thinking about a lot these past 2 years, because I think I still don't have a home. I made myself a home there, but my home were my people.
Yeah.
Because I've arrived there and I felt so lonely. Like I felt so lonely. I didn't have anyone. Of course, I had 3 or 4 people that I kind of relied on, and now they're really, really good friends of mine. But I felt very lost, very lonely. I never knew what like friendship meant. I wasn't out. I talked about that in the last episode. I felt so not me. So over the last 8 years, I made myself a home within myself and with the other people, you know? So when I started traveling, I was thinking about that a lot. Like I feel at home here now, very much so. Like I love this city. It's like so great. But I think what makes it a home are you guys. You know what I mean?
Also, Hannah texted us today or yesterday a message saying that she feels like really free right now. Like she feels like really sure of herself and she feels okay with herself, which I think is like a very important step. I think we might have talked about it in a different episode, But it's like when the only way you can get there is after having lived X amount of years, you know? Also, you mature, you grow, but 100%, what I'm thinking is maybe that a little bit of what might have happened to me in Venezuela, which is that I didn't really feel related to fully the culture, not because obviously it's part of your identity because you were born there, you were raised there, like you cannot erase that from yourself, but there's a lot of things that is like I wouldn't do it like this. If I had to choose, I wouldn't do it like this. And I think that also comes with time and like having seen other things and being like, okay, it doesn't have to be like this. I can choose actually. Like I think a lot of people might forget that they have like free will.
Yeah.
I think most people actually forget they have free will and they're always like trying to do what they think they have to do, but they don't really think what they want to do.
Exactly.
So
that's what I was referring to. I think I told you guys that for the first time in my life, I don't give a fuck about people's opinions, like not at all. And I think, yeah, that's something that progressively started when I went away because like people's opinions were such a big thing where I grew up, like the city I grew up in. But I still had that. And I think traveling and my ex, both those things. And I think also maybe not only her, but like meeting people from new countries, new continents, I don't know, like seeing how they face life made me really confident. Like, I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter to me. If people from my past see me on their For You page and they're like, wow, this is so cringe, I don't care. Like, I don't give a flipping fuck, literally. Whatever, they can do whatever they want and I can do whatever I want. And it's so not relevant, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think also because when you have found yourself being alone and having to like come up with first making peace with yourself, which is not as easy as it sounds, and two, knowing that you can build a community, like you know that you have that option. Sometimes it can be harder, sometimes it can be easier. I think it's easier to also like not care too much about what people think because it's like first you know that what you build right now, you chose it and you chose it with a head on your shoulders. Like you're surrounding yourself with people who you know they're never gonna think that about you.
No.
And of course you cannot like control what other people who don't even know you like that think. And also it's like even if you make a choice, if you do something really cringe, let's put it that way. You do something really cringe and a lot of your friends are like, you're so cringe, I'm not gonna hang out with you. I think it's like, okay, you can get new friends. You know that.
For sure. But I think it also costs you. And I think that's maybe why I'm so happy now to like, I have really good friends in Germany. Like not all Germans are the same.
Yeah.
But it was rougher for me to find friends. And I think it's also like if you come from nothing or if you have like a very rough past and your upbringing is a bit rougher and you find yourself in the situation that you, for example, when I was like younger, until I was 18 or something, I was so insecure. Like I was so insecure. I think until I was 14, I was like so insecure you can't even believe it. Like I was literally overthinking everything. And then
actually, Hannah has sent me some pictures of herself when she was in school, and you can really, when you look at the pictures, the vibe that they give. For me, it's like, okay, that's so cute. Hannah looks so cute. Like, that's such a cute girl. But you can see that you were, like, so inside yourself. Like, I cannot explain, like, the vibe of those pictures. It's, like, a bit somber, you know? Like, yeah. But I think it's kind of normal at that age. But also, like, it really, you can really tell that those years were really hard.
I think everyone's struggling and whatever, but the more, like, I was literally like, shopping was the worst thing ever for me, for example. Like, I hated it so much because everyone was like giving me a weird feeling about my clothing choice, but I just didn't know what I wanted to wear. And I was also struggling with my gender identity in a way, so because I think that was very much related to my sexual identity.
Yeah.
And also my gender identity is like another topic, but I'm okay with like, I love being a woman, loving women. But yeah, that was hard when I was younger. So I was struggling with that. So when I moved for the first time, I started to like make friends and I started to realize what is okay in friendships and what is not okay.
Yeah.
Like, how do you talk to people? You can say that something hurt you and the other person will not be like, whoa, fuck off, like I'm not gonna be your friend anymore, you know? So
also I think maybe when you're a bit younger, I wouldn't say that it doesn't matter when you're an adult, but when you are in school, let's say, your friend group means it's like, I don't know, 80% of your mental health, just because when you go to school, who the fuck are you gonna hang out with? You know?
True.
When you're an adult and you're like, I'm gonna go eat by myself, I'm gonna go do this by myself, or I just have one friend and I do this with my one friend, nobody actually has time to keep tabs. But when you're in school, everybody's like, she's so weird. Why? Blah, blah, blah. So
yeah, it's always like talking.
it's a bit more. It has a bit more pressure. So
yeah,
I think maybe when you were in school, that, I mean, what was said in the last episode, like those people were awful. But it's like you feel like your hands are a bit tied. It's not like you can just like tell them to. You don't have the same freedom as when you're an adult to be like, you know what, fuck you, because I don't need you. You don't pay my bills. I don't live with you. Like, I don't give a fuck. I can find another friend. And hopefully, I know that some people have some issues with making friends, but in general, like, you don't have to take awful treatment just because. But when you're in school, you're kind of like fucked with that, basically. But in Venezuela, it used to happen the same thing regarding like how you choose to express yourself. If you were a little bit, I want to say odd, but like more like less traditional to what other people were wearing, they had like a very special word for that, which was very looked down upon, which was Nietzsche. Nietzsche is like kind of like
a philosopher.
Niche.
In German, it's Nietzsche.
Nietzsche, okay. No, it's kind of like Kani or Choni here,
Choni,
but like everything can be. Everything can be like whatever it is. Like you put a clip on your hair, que Nietzsche, marica, que demasiado Nietzsche. Y es como, can I just fucking do whatever the fuck? Like, also, when you're that age, you're changing a lot. You want to experiment. Always having someone being like, that does not look good. And it's like, fuck out of here. Like, let me just try to find my thing. So,
for real. Yeah. But I think, like, this is like the people that experience that in school. And we like all grow older, and I don't think all people that had hardships are like great people, and I don't think that all my friends have to be gone through the worst thing ever. But I kind of feel like having gone through this and then also moving continents or countries is a thing that does something to you, like
do
a
you
lot.
think does it also feel like this to you then when you talk to people who have never left,
have never left their country?
Or Germany specifically, you're like, damn, you reach a ceiling like 2 years ago and you cannot go above it. I don't know if that also happens to first world countries, but when I talk to people in Venezuela, sometimes it's like, I cannot believe we're the same age and you're still worried about things that I was worried about when I was 15, Like, since you haven't had any other types of hardships, I'm not saying that life is easier when you stay in your country. I'm not saying necessarily that, but you know what to expect, you were born there, so it's not like something too new. Usually you have your family and you have like a lot of people around that can help you, so it's not as hard, it doesn't feel as harsh, and it's like, it's so apparent how you haven't matured in some things just because you haven't lived this experience.
I think those things, even more trying to like get your residency, like paperwork. I don't know how it is for people that live in a country that they speak the same language, because when I moved to Sydney, I was fluent in English, so it was quite easy. But here,
no, girl, here
it was hard. It was so hard.
Also, that's like maybe a misconception that people may have. Like for me, when I came, I already had like my Spanish passport because my grandparents were Spaniards. But Hannah, she's still a member of the European Union. So you might think that since people who are from the European Union can live in any country of the European Union, and it's gonna be a bit easier, let's say, I don't know if it's true for every country, but okay, bear with me. And it's actually hard as fuck. I know I have some friends there, they have like an Italian passport or another type of passport, and it's like, they have to fight so much.
For real.
I know, and that's like for people who, they're not illegally here.
No. You don't get kicked out of the country, but you can't get like...
bank account.
Yeah, bank account. You can't get like healthcare. You can't get a
jobs,
salary. Yeah. So you're basically
probably rent.
fucked, you know? So yeah.
Yeah, I think it is still hard to move anywhere, even if you have like some type of commodities.
I think so, yeah. I think it does something to you, but I think in Germany it's not that crazy about. I think people, it depends where. If you go to the bigger cities, it's a bit shit. But I don't want to say that people from the countryside are more closed off. But I think
They
can be, yeah.
Not necessarily in Germany,
yeah.
like in general in any country.
In general. But I think in Germany it's not that much like. I feel like people hit the ceiling if they stay in Germany. You know what I mean? Like. It's a bit more, but also
I remember that when I was in Germany, I was there for work and we had to drive like
you hit the ceiling.
No, we had to drive from a city to another city that was like 20 minutes away. But we used to make a stop in like, I don't remember what was the name of this supermarket, but like
Rewe.
Yeah, I think so, probably. And they
Very
had
common one.
Yeah, and they had like a coffee place inside the supermarket, which was great for me because the coffee in the office was shit. So we would grab our lunches for that day and the coffee. And I used to go there, basically, I went for like 5 days straight and I asked for the same thing. And the girl, the barista, whatever, she hated me for sure because I didn't speak German at all. But I think it's funny because that's like a stereotypical German that I think when I think of Germany or before I knew other people from Germany. But she was not amused with me not speaking German and she did not want to speak English with me at all. But I think it was because it was between Vecta and Emsteg. That's like the middle of fucking nowhere, for real.
That's like, yeah, that's what I mean. It's like a bit like this. I mean, people here, they're very much not appreciative of you if you speak English.
Yeah.
But I think it probably might be worse if you go more into the campo, right? Like the countryside.
Maybe they're a bit nicer, but they won't
speak English.
I'm thinking about if you go to Murcia, speaking English, they will be like, la guiri esta, no sé qué ha dicho, tío. Hacho, no sé qué ha dicho. Oh, that's the worst accent in my life. They're friendlier, depends, but they will be like,
maybe
I don't give a fuck. I won't try to understand you.
Maybe in Germany they're like not like it's not the friendliness that they have, but I mean in the bigger cities like almost everyone speaks good English.
Yeah, but I also think like especially in big cities, I won't say all of them because I haven't been in all of them, but like here in Madrid, in Paris, I don't know, I haven't been in Rome, but like I have been in Milan and stuff. It's like, it's a big city. People tend to be a little bit more like, I don't give a fuck. Like they're like doing their own thing, you know, like in New York or stuff like that. It's a big city, but I would say people in Madrid are friendly, but they're not the friendlier. Or the friendliest of all Spain, I would say. Even though it's I think
I like them here, but yeah, they're not I don't know.
Yeah, you can.
I try with Spanish. Like I almost all the time speak Spanish when they're like.
No, but they have treated me. I don't know if we talked about this in my episode or I don't remember, but whatever. Like as I remember, but it was very shocking for me when I came here because people here are rude. In my idea of rude, because people in Latam maybe they are a little bit of ass kissers, a little bit. So you're used to certain like warmth on the way people treat you, and here they can be like very short with you, which is not necessarily it doesn't mean that they're rude. It's just that they're not particularly friendly, let's say.
And that's such a cultural thing, and we talked about that today because I grew up with very cold people, but I also learned to say what I feel, and I say it not in a rude way, but I always say what I feel. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I really tried to learn that when I had shitty friends, and when I had good friends, I wanted to be someone that is like, you know what, you will never doubt how I feel because I will tell you. You know, so I always do that. But people here, for some, it's a bit harder, you know, like to swallow that at times or whatever, you know. So that's like a difference for me for sure. And then also very big difference, dancing. I cannot move my body. It's so bad.
That's great. Also, I would say as a person from the Caribbean, I'm not a great dancer myself. I will say that. I mean, I'm very loose with my body, and I'm not very shy.
Yeah.
But like you put me like now, you have to dance salsa. I can dance fine on my own. I know how to dance merengue, bachata, salsa on my own. If I had to dance with another person, I'm stomping their feet for sure. It's kind of hard, but I also see Spanish people, and I'm like, bless their hearts, they can dance. So
No, I can't. And it's so weird because like I feel like I have a very German body when it comes to that. But I think it's also in my head.
Yeah.
I'm like someone that's something weird. When I was younger in Frankfurt with all the terrible girls, they loved reggaeton.
That's
They
crazy,
loved
bro.
it, which means I grew up with reggaeton.
Claro.
So it was always, we were going to parties, we were listening to reggaeton.
That's crazy.
And then we had to dance to like impress the guys.
Right.
With, I think that's why my brain, she's dying over here. If you're not watching, she just lost it.
The cinematic parallels here. Okay, the other day I was
I'm gonna
with my
insert a
friends.
picture of me at that time because
Sí, por
it's
favor,
hilarious.
sí, por favor. I was talking with my friends about what we are gonna play on my birthday, and they were like, oh, we need to take out these bangers, which was like reggaeton from we were like 10, 11, 12, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And one of my friends were like, oh, shout out to Las Minitecas, which was like little clubs, let's say, clubs like in a shorter and friendlier for all ages type of way. When we were like 12, okay, like we were in school.
Gosh darn it.
And they used to put like music and lights and stuff to like mimic what a you know?
Got it. Mm-hmm.
And they used to put reggaeton, of course, and we would all dance, and it was like, que bolas, que loco, marico, perreé con, whatever, you know? It was so crazy. It was so crazy. So for me thinking that at the same time, that was happening in Germany, that's insane. That's literally insane, but love to see it.
I mean, obviously, like Frankfurt, the only thing that I really liked is that I grew up in a very multicultural environment.
Yeah.
Not particularly in my friends group, but Frankfurt is a city that has a lot of different ethnicities living there. You know what I mean?
Sí.
You can eat such good food there. Oh my God, literally, it's so good.
In Frankfurt.
So...
I'm obsessed with sausages. Actually, when I got to Germany, I was like, can I go to Frankfurt? Because I need to eat a Frankfurt sausage right now, this second. And people were like, no, Frankfurt is actually not good at all. And I was like, okay, go again.
Oh my God.
But we will go to Frankfurt.
I
would love to go with you so you can show me around.
We can go to Frankfurt and then we go to Berlin together, okay?
Sí.
To see Alina.
Sí.
She's never... If you're watching this, darling, we're coming for you.
Yeah.
No, but...
You were dancing to impress the boys.
Yeah, it was terrible. I think at that time, because I was so insecure, that was when my brain connected it to being bad. Okay. And now, ever since I lived here, and I have like friends from Latin America, and I go out to reggaeton also, and to techno, both things, I feel a lot better with it.
Yeah.
I get better and my hips get more loose. But I also remember when I started like seeing my ex, I was like, fuck no, this is so cringe, bro. I'm so German.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think one thing that it shocked me, I don't know if people know this is not related to Germany, unfortunately, but in Venezuela, a lot of people dance flamenco. That's like that's very
Spanish, no?
Sí, but whatever, we were a colony, no? Back in the days,
Yeah,
way back in the days. But also flamenco, it's a beautiful dance. So I did flamenco when I was little, like maybe 2 years of doing flamenco, not too much. I'm not good at that. My sister though, she's a professional at that, no kidding. And most of my friends, they have danced flamenco for years. Like,
wow.
Yeah, it's like very common. It's not uncommon at all to people to dance flamenco. And here in Spain, I have met so many people who go to Latin dance class that they dance salsa and stuff. I find it like so funny and endearing because we're all obviously connected. But like what I'm saying with this is like people go to classes for that. And I have actually been thinking maybe I should go to a salsa class or something like that because I'm not good at all.
Darling, but I'm gonna tell you something that I'm never ever gonna go to like literal like dance classes.
¿Por?
I can't.
¿Te mueres de vergüenza?
Sí. and my body, like, I used to live, okay, this is like a very dumb excursus. My first shared flat, I met the most amazing people there. We were 9. And we had this thing, we had a whole house.
Sí.
We had this thing, you had like 1 semester there, and after the semester, you got like into it was like a community, whatever. And for that, they had like a play for you, that they scripted a play, they were playing to make fun of you in a way. And then afterwards, you had to do like it was kind of like, in Germany we say Mutprobe, I don't know how to say that. It's like to show them that you were worthy, whatever. It's like a funny thing to do.
Okay.
And I had to dance the fucking waltz. No, disco fox. Fuck that. Because they knew how much I hated it.
Pero ¿cómo es eso? ¿Cómo se baila eso?
Con like a fucking guy, and he was like holding me, and I was like stomping on his feet in front of all the people. You know what I mean? No. The thing is, no, I can't. Like, I don't know why. I danced hip hop for like half a year when I was younger.
Did you like it?
I liked it. It's cool. Like, I think
is cool.
there's nothing hotter than a girl that can dance really well. Fuck my life. So hot.
True, because
So that's
I
why
will
I'm
say
so
this.
sad.
When people can sing, I find it like that's such a cool superpower to have. But I fucking envy them so bad that it's like, fucking shut your face. Like, I don't know if I could date a person. Well, my boyfriend
Really
sings.
good singer.
See, my boyfriend sings really well. But the thing is, I see you wouldn't have thought, but he sings so good, which is kind of like, it's not a secret, but it's not like he's ever gonna be like in a party. He's not gonna be like, wait a minute, I'm gonna sing. He's never gonna do that. Actually, there was one of his friends' party. It was a karaoke. He absolutely refused to sing, and I was like, man, you sing really good. Whatever. What I'm trying to say is that he's not a show off about it. But if I could sing,
You would be like,
girl, everybody would be fucking sick of me, you know? So when I see people that can sing, and of course, like, if you had a girlfriend that could sing and she
dancing is so much hotter, I
Sí,
think.
obvio, porque es como, bueno, ya estás buena y ya, ¿no? For singing, it's like, bitch, I wish I had that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
No,
Totally.
dancing I would die, like, literally. Like,
Yeah.
if I see people that can dance really well, I'm like, but I can't. I cannot. So, yeah. I don't know, like, it's my brain, it doesn't connect. Mi piernas, they're not connected to my brain.
You have a mind-body
They're like,
connection.
my Chilean friend in Sydney, she was like, okay, no, now I'm gonna show you the steps. She was like, 1, 2, 3. And I was like, 1, 2, no, fuck, no, I can't.
No. It's hard,
like
but
so bad.
The other day, well, you know, my boyfriend has some difficulties with like his legs and stuff, and he was like, "Oh, I think we need to dance so I can like let them like how do you say soltarlas? I don't know.
Let
how
them
you say
loose?
it.
I don't know.
Yeah, to
loosen them up. Yeah.
Loosen up my legs. He doesn't know how to dance clearly, anything basically because he's a man and he's Spanish. So why would he know how to dance? Maybe techno at most. And it was first. It's like so cute. And also we were doing research after like he was like let's dance one day. Okay, we did. It was really fun. The next day I open up Instagram and there's like this infographic channel like more like page that does like stuff, and they were saying how important it is for people to dance because it's really good for your brain and your body. It helps you not get fucking crazy. That's actually what they say, and that's why older people, they're usually like in like when they're like in how do you say
like homes?
Sí,
Yeah.
I was gonna say asylum.
Chama,
Perdón. These asylums, they usually have activities where they
Asylums, you said it
Sí,
again.
no sé, dije asylums.
Home.
No, perdón, homes. Qué horror. And they're gonna put me in an asylum when I'm fucking old. Whatever. Whenever in these homes, they make them do dance classes like Zumba, you know, like that's classic old people class.
Zumba, so cute.
See,
No.
And because I like that, the next day I saw a class full of older people dancing. And I started crying.
I get that.
I started crying because it's like they're doing this because they don't want to go crazy, but they're so cute. And it's like obviously they struggle because they were so old that they struggled to do basically whatever. I would have been struggling too. Like no shade to them. And it was like I'm gonna be all that I'm gonna be dancing. I don't know what, but I'm gonna be dancing probably.
I'm not gonna be dancing.
No, girl, you will be dancing because you need to keep your hips and your mind healthy.
My hips,
Your
they
hips,
lie.
they're lies. They're such liars.
They lie, man. No, but yeah, it's rough out there to be German between so many hot Latin American and Spanish people.
I have a friend. I have a friend that she's like completely obsessed with German people. For real. For real. I was like, girl, you're crazy. You're crazy because I think that's like profiling, you know.
Yeah,
A little bit. But whatever, she has a lot of success with German people, so props to her. Honestly, for real.
I don't know if it's like a good thing or a bad thing.
No, I'm saying that there's something for everybody, you know.
Of course there is. I think the only thing that makes me sad sometimes when I think about like I see myself probably dating someone from like a Spanish speaking country. The only thing that makes me a bit sad is that I feel like the language of my soul is German.
Claro, tía.
Because I'm a writer. And so my best writing is in German. And it gets better in English for sure. And when I'm with you, I feel like I'm 100,000% myself. But still, the way that I express on paper is very different to the way I express when I'm like talking.
Yeah.
Which for me is even more different because I'm a person that I speak like a lot of slang. I love that. I say a lot of shit when I'm with my friends. But when I'm writing, I really love language. I really love the capacities of language and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I only have that in German for now, you know?
We all have heard about these couples where I think we talked about, I don't know if it was us or whatever. If you start dating a person that speaks another language, I think it's fair for you or for them to...
but babe, life's too short to learn German.
Bueno, guapa,
La
pero...
vida es muy corta para
And life is
aprender
too short to
alemán.
learn, I don't know, Japanese, and people still do it, you know what I
know.
mean? So what I mean is probably you're gonna find someone, if she doesn't speak German from the get-go, which she probably won't. I put myself in her shoes, at least like basic German, like Angie. You know, like maybe, of course, she won't be able to understand everything as she was a native person, but doesn't mean that she cannot learn, you know. I think about that actually very often because I dated some people who were not like Spanish speakers and we didn't last too long and it was okay.
Get them out of here.
No, but I do wonder, like, would there have been, like, a wall, maybe, for us to understand each other or for feelings if we're always communicating in a language where I'm not, like, completely fluent at? You know, I think it gets a bit, like...
I think it can make things hard. I don't want to give her too much credits, but I have to say, like, my ex, though, was definitely the person that understood me the most of all the people that I ever dated, because she saw me in a way, you know, and she understood the way, like she understood my writing and she understood the way I saw things and I described them, and she could only read it in English, you know what I mean? So I think it really depends on the person, and you need like a common ground for sure.
Yeah,
you need one language that you both understand, and then you can work your way up there. I have to say I would never ever, from none of my girlfriends that are going to come in the future, hopefully just one. I would never expect from her to learn German.
Well, but...
because it's hard.
For me, in my case, since I have dated, like, seriously dated 2 Spanish guys and 1 Venezuelan guy. For the Venezuelan guy, there was nothing to do there. We spoke the same language. For the 2 Spanish guys, including my current boyfriend, I live in this country, so I have had to learn ways to express in myself.
Sure.
It is true that they have learned the way that I express myself naturally in my Venezuelan Spanish.
Yeah,
you know?
but baby, you speak that language every day.
It still is well, it's kind of difficult when it's the same language but different words, different pronunciation and stuff. There still are a lot of misunderstandings because it's like you said that in this tone, or you said that in this context, or you said this word first where it should have been the last word and things like that. But you I mean, at the end of the day, when you're dating someone and it's long term, you need to learn how to speak the language of their heart.
That's it. That's such
The
a
language
good,
of their heart.
Yeah, I think that's it, basically.
See, because I think
yeah.
for your writing, I would be like, if I had a partner that wrote these type of things, I also love writing, like in the sense of, I think if you do a craft, in my case, I'm a tattoo artist, okay? You can see my tattoos. It's like very straightforward, you know? For writing, it's like it's like a door in someone's, I would say mind, but I would actually mean soul and heart. Like, it's so very personal, like the same for people who write songs and stuff, that if I was with someone who likes to write like that, I would be like, I need to read. I will be so obsessed with reading everything, just because it's gonna be like, it makes me understand you just a little bit better, which is what I want. And also, there's also Google Translator, you know? Is it gonna be faithful and 100% what you mean? Probably not, but at least you're gonna get 80% of the way, and then you can like fill in the blanks and stuff and blah, blah, blah. So if there's a will, there's a way. That's for sure.
No, you're right.
Also, last question. Do you think there are a lot of German people in Spain?
Yes.
See?
There are a lot of German people everywhere. See. Like, I don't know if you know about this place. It's literally the most horrible thing ever.
Málaga.
No, Male, which is in Mallorca.
Okay. Ah, bueno, sí, también.
Male is like Ballermann, which is like the worst German music performed in one place. Absolutely smash drunk people, and also very racist and like right-wing people. Because if you're not like this, you're not gonna like it there.
Yeah.
Because it's like men grabbing your ass. I don't know, everything horrible that you can think of in one place.
Okay.
And it's little Germany and Spain, which I'm so sorry about that, guys.
No, but it is true. Like, where I think it was, yes, in Málaga or well, in
Mallorca
Barcelona.
is like 100%. In Barcelona, there are also loads of people. I think.
No, but I think I meant like on the outsides, on the outskirts, maybe, that you even have like vallas publicitarias. How do you say that? Like ads in the middle of the street for like lawyers and things like that in German. In German, because there are so many German people there. They cater to the German people for sure.
I'm gonna spoil you. We bought one of your presents en una tienda de Alemania.
El Tiger, tía, obvio. Mira, una cosa de vivir en España. I cannot say anymore a tiger. What the fuck is tiger? Tiger, el tiger de toda la vida, which is how Spanish people pronounce it.
What is that?
Tiger.
Ah.
There are a lot of other examples that is like, I cannot pronounce it any other way.
Well, to close it, maybe I said I have to think about what my Chilean friend said. She was, when we were traveling in Indonesia, she was making a comment. She was like, you guys are so many. You were everywhere. Like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah. And then she Googled how many people live in Germany. Because the fucking world, like the map of the world, is not the accurate size of the countries. Argentina is like 1,000 times the size of Europe. Like, not 1,000 times, but you know what I mean. So it's not accurate because it's the colonialization and whatever. They did that because they wanted to feel really powerful, whatever. Germany is quite a small country, but we're 84 million people.
Yeah.
So we're quite a lot of people. So that's why we're everywhere. And we're also like traveling. But also Germans, particularly Germans, love to just be by themselves. They go traveling and then you see them just talking in German. I had like one German roommate here and he was talking in German all the time to me. Even if there were other people and I was like, bitch, no one understands you. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That's... To me, I don't know, maybe I was in a privileged position of going to a country where people speak my language. It is true that I had to learn like a second language to make myself clear to Spanish people. It took me like a year, honestly, to like completely understand the timing and the jokes and blah, 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 blah. At first, I was very confused all the time, even though we speak the same language.
Yeah.
Which it would happen the same thing if I would have moved to Argentina, to Chile, especially Chile, probably. See, of course.
Chileans like, get out of here.
But I was actually very surprised when I got here that they were very open with me. Because what I've seen, and you and everybody who has like Erasmus story, Spanish people only hang out with Spanish people.
Yeah,
French people only hang out with French people. I can understand why you're more comfortable. You have like something in common with people who speak the same language as you. For me, that's very weird because when I lived in Venezuela, I was like, I don't want to see any of you here. Thank you. At least for a while, you know. I did try, like when I came here, I was like very like I had it in mind. Like I really don't want to be like in a circle full of Venezuelan people because that's gonna defeat the whole fucking purpose of me living. But I know a lot of people don't see it like that. But I do,
maybe because I'm missing home as well. Like
no, but I also
know.
do have like in my case, I have never had to be in a place where I had to speak English 24/7, no matter what. I speak a lot of English with my friends. Like actually, I realized after my second boyfriend that I couldn't date anyone who didn't speak English. For me, it's like you need to speak English because I make a lot of jokes in English. I code switch a lot. I consume a lot of English speaking media. Like you need to speak English for sure. But I know a lot of people who have had to like really, I work in English as well, but it does not tire me. If I had to speak English from day to night, I would probably be like, I'm so tired of speaking English and having to do the extra effort when I just want to speak Spanish. So maybe people feel like that as well. Perhaps. I don't know.
Could be. I don't know. I don't think about that anymore.
Also, people are really close. That's it. Maybe everybody should open themselves more, a little bit.
I think it just depends on the people. Because I also, maybe that's like a good closing. I am so privileged. Like I have friends from almost everywhere here. And I also have friends, we have a friend from Madrid. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Laura, she grew up here and she widened her friends circle for me, you know?
Yeah.
So I think if you are a cool person and people like you, you can be friends with any nation.
I agree.
To be honest.
Agreed.
So yeah, that was that. That was me talking about my experience as a German. Potato in Spain.
We hope you enjoyed and you are gonna have more Sobremesa soon with more people and more experiences.
Yes.
Okay.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.